So, now that you know how Hebrew works, let's look at this first word of Genesis 1:1, Bereshit. I've written it big here, but it's the same here. It means in beginning. Okay? Well, each one of these has a picture associated with it. By the way, notice that each of these also have a number associated with it. God deals on levels, and levels, and levels, and they all intertwine and connect, and there's sub-themes and themes, and they all interconnect, and everything points to Jesus. Don't believe me? Watch. Bereshit, the first word. Remember, we're reading from right to left. You can sound that out. Beit, ba, resh, or aleph. They actually say it's a silent letter, and you don't. It sort of gives the A sound. I don't know why they call it a silent letter. It does. It is interesting that aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Yet God does not begin the alphabet or begin the Bible with an aleph. He begins it with a beit in Bereshit. Interesting. So, and even the shape of Bereshit, notice it's closed to heaven above, it's closed to earth below, and it's closed to infinity past, but it's open to the future in the direction that God reads. Pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so this is Bereshit. And R is Ra, Resh, Aleph, Ah. The Sheen, it's a Sh sound. Yud, Ya. And the Ta is the T sound. So you sound it out. Bereshit. And if we look at their ancient pictures, remember, you learn 22 letters, you learn 22 pictures, and you can figure it out. A beit, we already said, was a tent. And a resh, this was the head. Uh-oh. Oh, not bad. And beit resh, we already know this much. That's a word we've already learned. It's bar. Bar is son. Oh my goodness. He starts the Bible, bar. I told you, everything points to Jesus. He's the first two letters are pointing to the Son. Then you have Aleph. What's Aleph? Aleph, we're going to put it in blue because blue would be the color of God. Because this is God's letter. It's the one he's out in front. He doesn't take everything. He gives all authority and everything to the Son. He starts the Bible with the Son. So this is God. He's the head. It's the strength. God's letter, Aleph. So what do we have in the first three letters of Bereshit? The first word of the Bible, Bereshit, which means in beginning. It's not in the beginning, by the way. There's no the in here. When we learn more of Hebrew, you'll see it's not there. It's just in beginning. And believe me, I know so little Hebrew, but I'm learning, and whatever I figure out, I'm going to pass on to you. Okay, so the first three letters, it's Bar, Son of God. Oh my goodness, that's pretty cool. We come to the Sheen. It has an ancient picture also associated with it. Its picture is, I'm doing it in black. Teeth. It looks like a W. In fact, Sheen, it's the Hebrew letter that looks like a W. But it's actually teeth. You see devouring teeth? And anytime you see a Sheen, it represents destruction and devouring. Okay? Teeth, destroying. Interesting. Okay? In fact, look at this. If you just take these two letters right here, Aleph, Sheen, that is a word in Hebrew on its own. That word is Aleph, strength, strong, powerful. Sheen, destruction, teeth, ultimate destruction. It's Aish, fire. In fact, Aish, whenever whenever Moses was up on Mount Sinai, and who does the burning bush? It's the Aish Sinai. The Aish is fire. Sinai is bush. The Aish Sinai, the fire in the bush. And it's just a cool picture of God. He's the fire. He's the judge. He can destroy. He's the fire. But the bush isn't consumed because he's also merciful. Unbelievably cool picture. But here he's got his Aish. He uses this name on Mount Sinai. But you can see how Hebrew works. You get these. You can figure out what the words are, and they sort of define what they are. A yud. The yud. Its picture is a hand, and we'll do the hand here. They actually draw it sort of like this. It's an arm. Okay, you can see an arm coming down and coming out in the hand, and it represents work or a hand doing something. Yud. It's the smallest Hebrew letter. When Jesus, in the New Testament, he talked about not one jot or tittle will pass from the law before all are fulfilled. He didn't say jot. He said yod. He's saying not even the smallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet will pass from the law. So that's the yod. Very cool. It's the 10th, number 10. He begins his names with yod, which is very, very God. That's a God thing. His name Yahweh begins with a yod, or Yeshua begins with a yod. His city Jerusalem begins with the yud. He's almighty, unbelievable, almighty God, and he uses the smallest letter for his name because he can. And then we come to the Ta, and the Ta, its picture it's the letter T. Ta, hear it? So you T. Or it's a cross, which you put your mark, your Ta. That's what it is. So the word Bereshit, if you sound it out, you have Bar, the son, Aleph, of God, is destroyed by his own hand, willingly, on the cross. and you atheists say there's no God, and that man wrote the Bible? He does this with every word, people. Every word. Anyway, that's just really cool. And remember, this is the word in beginning, Bereshit. And what's really cool, if you go to the Isaiah, the prophet, major prophet Isaiah 46:10, he says, I am God, there is no other, and declaring the end from, you ready? Are you waiting for it? Are you waiting for it? He declares the end from the beginning. That's how you know that's how you know who a God is a God. If he can say it before it happens, he's God. And here he's spelling out the end, that the Son of God will be destroyed by his own willingly hand, by own willing, you know what I mean? On the cross, willingly, on the cross. Yes. That's declaring the end from the beginning, from the Bereshit. Anyway, pretty cool stuff.